Hey guys, it's your buddy Rome. This is a public service announcement. As you guys have probably already seen, I did an unboxing video for the A360. The Avata 360, I think, is going to be an amazing camera, guys. I think a lot of people are going to love this, including myself. I can't wait to really add this camera to the normal rotation of different drones and things that I use on my daily basis. Now, here's where the problem came in for me. I'm not saying that everyone's going to experience this. This could be just a fluke, but I want you guys to be aware of this. So after receiving the drone and getting ready to set it up before its first flight, the first thing that I wanted to be able to do, because I am Part 107, is to register the drone. You would have to register the drone regardless if you're Part 107 or not, because the drone is over 249 grams. Okay, so let's keep that in mind. So in the process of attempting to register the drone, I looked inside of the drone, I got the serial number, and I entered the serial number into the FAA drone zone, and it automatically rejected the serial number. So I'm like, okay, well, that's just weird. That's maybe I typed it in wrong. So I went back and retyped it and retyped it and retyped it. Then I even tried verifying that serial number versus what I was seeing on my controller. And I was seeing the exact same serial number that was being sent from the drone itself. Now, this could just be a fluke. Most people, again, guys, I think most people will never, ever, ever encounter this, but it is something to be aware of. So when you first get your drone, make sure you register it. You go through the process of, finding the serial number. You can find it on the box. You can find it inside of the battery bay. And in most cases, you can also, if it's already connected to a controller like the RC2 controller, you will be able to go under the About, scroll all the way down to the bottom, and you will see your drone serial number. And that's the serial number you're going to add to the FAA drone zone site as a part of your fleet, and you should be good to go. You pay your $5 registration fee, and the only thing left to do is to throw a sticker on it and then get out and enjoy all the amazing things this drone is going to be able to do. So in this video, my emphasis is on the one incident that I had, that I experienced. I've seen no one else talk about anything like this. So maybe, again, I have to consider maybe mine was that unicorn that just had a weird, serial number somehow. I don't know. I don't know what the case was, but we had to send it back to the original seller so that we could have it replaced. And when the next one comes in, I will be, unboxing that again, also going through the setup with you guys so you guys can see on recorded that if there are any issues or if everything goes flawlessly, because if you notice, no one in their videos ever show you the registration process for these new drones. A lot of the guys who are getting the drones early on are getting them straight from DJI, so it's probably not an issue with any of those coming that way. But there are a lot of other sellers, and especially here in the US, you're going to find them on a variety of different platforms selling those drones, and there's really no paper trail that we can verify as to where the drones are coming from, if they're legitimate drones. Again, I don't think that's the issue, but all of these things, we have to keep in mind. Many of us who use a lot of electronics like I do, whether it's action cameras, drones, whatever, as soon as the product comes online, there's always going to be a bunch of companies that just pop up overnight that, produce aftermarket accessories, especially with batteries for drones and things like that. So again, be careful, guys. Be careful. Make sure that what you receive, what you've invested in, is a legitimate product, and it's going to work as intended. And especially here in the US, you guys know you have to register your drone, and I'm pretty sure that is the same in most countries. Yes, there was another issue. When I first started up the drone, I saw the remote ID error. Now that happens occasionally, depending on where you are, but I live in a very, very rich, satellite rich environment. Okay, so any of my drones, I could pick up any one of these drones and power this guy up right now, and even here in my studio I'm going to be able to get satellites. Okay, so that has never been an issue for me as well. And the other thing that I hadn't mentioned yet is that, yes, even after all the other attempts with registering the drone, I wanted to see if that was still an issue, because I was looking at the little red icon there and I was like, okay, let me take the drone outside and see if I can still, it'll still receive satellites. Never. It never connected to the satellites. Okay. I mean, I tried moving it further out in the yard. I tried starting and restarting, the drone and the controller. Never got any satellites whatsoever. So again, that just may be a fluke. It might have been a dud, whatever the case it is. But again, guys, I'm just putting this video out there so that you will be aware of some of the situations that could happen. And it's not just this drone specifically. It could be any drone. Okay, I know we're excited. We can't wait to get out and fly these drones. But I'm telling you guys, protect yourself. Protect yourself, protect yourself. Get out there and make sure that you are on board, legal to fly. You've registered your drone. You've done the checklist, and you know everything that you need to know before you put that drone in the air, because that is a liability. All right, guys, it's been your buddy Rome with Rome Knows Tech, and I just want to do this quick little PSA. Hopefully this video will help someone. If it only helps one person, it was worth my time today to create this video. All right, I will see you all in the next video. Until then, stay safe. Peace. I'm out.